Hello, come on in. This is all about the knees, if you please. You will need a chair and something of weight. Does it need to be a kettlebell? It could be anything from a bottle of water, can be enough to do it, any way you've got about the house that you can use. The idea today is we're going to look simply at how to improve the connection between your feet, your ankles and your knees and your hips. It doesn't matter where you're coming from, but if we want to strengthen up this kinetic chain, we need to communicate to those parts of the body. It's a bit like if you were about to run a marathon, you wouldn't just go straight out and do the marathon. You would do the build-up, you'd do the training. So this is re-sensitising the body to how to connect with your balance, how to build up your strength, and also not to miss out the idea that the flexibility is part of the strength. This is a really simple routine. It involves a chair, a weight, and something you can build on over time. So, thumbs up, because if you're watching this again, you know to get to this point to start without the waffle. Come to sit on the edge of your chair, make sure it's pretty gripped along the floor. Take the hands down onto the knees. We'll start with a bit of a yogic principle, prepare the body and the mind for movement. Let the eyes close. And just take a few breaths that become natural and relaxed. Just reach the hands up to the sky as you do. Let the breath flow as it needs to. Take a forward fold, sweep the hands down. Slide the hands up on the knees, draw the elbows in, send the heart forward. Exhale into a forward fold. Arms wide to rise. We'll take a few more of these. Hands to prayer. Circle the arms up. Take a forward fold, long spine. Halfway up, elbows in. Arch the spine, tummy in. Forward fold. Easy squeezing. Reach the hands back up to the sky. Take the hands to wrap around the right knee and lift it in towards you. A rotation of the ankle in its natural range of movement. When we start to create force and stretch, that's just one layer before injury. So we want to take the natural movements that are available. Take the hand behind the back of the thigh and extend the leg and lift the chest. High from my feet. Draw the knee back in. Plant down to the floor. Do the same for the other side. Draw the knee in towards the chest. Give it a squeeze up. Smooth moves through the ankle joint. Don't dismay if one ankle has more flexibility than the other, because we're always dominant on one side. Hands behind the back of the thigh, little stretch as if you're trying to hold the toilet door shut with your foot. Back down to the earth. Inhale, stretch the hands up to the sky. Take a long forward fold. Little old half forward fold. A deep forward fold. And arms wide. So, to make this short and sweet, let's get straight on with it. We're going to work at getting the feet, the body, the mind all working together so we build up confidence as a strategy to build up strength. Play this little game whenever you get an opportunity. Take a little lean forward, sweep the arms forward, take the weight into the feet and come back. Now have a little look at how the feet are. Have they turned in, turned out? Have them parallel, approximately 2 of your fist distance apart. We're going to be coming up out of a chair into chair pose. So sweep the arms, come up and sit back down. And we're going to repeat this. This doesn't necessarily need to be done as part of a sequence. You can do this as a practice of getting up or down at the chair, particularly if you're starting to get knee issues and you know it's about regaining strength and the mobility in it. This action I like to call my pension scheme, because as long as I can continue to get up and sit down unaided, I won't need anyone to look after me. I'll be able to look after myself. It's my pension scheme. Come back down. Once you've got the hang of doing it like that, you add on to it. We lift, we tap the buttocks, and we come back up again. When you get used to this action, which even with the strongest of knees and thighs will start to ache a little, you can even use a swing of the hands and just tap down and tap up. And the chair is there as your safety net. And come back down again. Does make you work the big muscles of the body. The next phase we're doing this is to add a weight onto it. Obviously, I've got myself a kettlebell here. And you'll know someone who's got some weights left about in the garage. So ask about rather than buying something unnecessarily. Take the weight in your hands, keep it close to the chest. And once you know that you have the communication and the feedback from the feet, you can start doing this action, the sitting down and the standing up with a weight. And what could be simpler than to strengthen the ankles and the knees? So that's part one. Okay, when you get fancy at this, you can do the little pulses, but just be aware that sometimes this can put unnecessary strain on the back. So the sitting down and the coming up, just make it slower rather than making the back go sore. Couldn't be easier, could it? Just pop that weight down. Okay, next thing I want to go through, let me get my breath. Little stretch, little fold, little half forward fold, little full forward fold, arms wide, hands to prayer. Inhale, lift up out of my chair pose and come to stand. Okay, so if we have had an injury in the knees, the ankles, you know, you've rolled your ankle, whatever it is that's giving you that feeling of being unstable and uncertain, walking on uneven ground, we need to retrain that confidence level from your mind to have the attitude that I'll be all right on that surface. But that can't just be thought about, we need to make it happen within the body. So this is a little sequence you can practice in your kitchen. I love a bit of kitchen yoga. We're always hanging about in the kitchen for something to eat, cook, kettle to boil. Soft knees, chair dog. Put your hands, without gripping the chair, on the back of the chair. Make sure it's good and firm. Bend the knees, flatten the back, stretch the back of the thighs from our chair squats. Take a little look forward over the top of the chair. Step left foot to the centre of the mat. Bend the knees to get some buoyancy. Avoid the gripping of the chair, because if you start to fall, it's better to let go and rebalance. Take the left foot behind and tap it onto the earth. We lift and we lower. Now, this may look a bit innocuous, like it's not doing much, but we're building the signalling that goes from our feet to our brain, to our ears, to our eyes, and that feedback system. Then lift and hold. Foot down. Relax the spine by taking the chair dog. Press the heart towards the earth. Have a roll back through the spine. Left foot to the centre, right foot behind, a little lift, a little lower. You'll notice that there's small micro movements happening in my foot. That's self-adjusted. Obviously, I'm not thinking about that, but when we've had injury to those areas, the body loses that ability to go through the self-adjustment. So we're building up the small and the fine muscles in the feet and the stabilising muscles in the knees and the hips. Have a little hover, place it down. Release the spine, flat back, tailbone away. Aiming to imagine you can balance an avocado in the centre of your spine. No one likes a bruised avocado, so balance it well. Step forward, right leg to the centre. This time we upgrade. Fingertips on the chair. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. And on the third one, we take a lift and a little hover. Extending the opposite arm to the leg. Breathe here. Long body, a little bit of relief. Again, you'll see the micro movements happening now in my knee as well as my ankle. Pop the foot down. Stretch the spine. Take it back. Other foot to the centre. Fingertip balance. Raising the leg. I always like to do it on 3. First, second, third. Opposite arm to the leg that's raised. Reach long. Top tip to this is make lots of activity in the back foot by pressing it away strong while letting it hang there. Hand back down. Chair dog. Lengthen spine. You can see where we go now, can't you? Layer on layer, building up the confidence to balance on one leg. Fingertips on the chair, raise the leg. If you're feeling good at this moment and you're happy to go for it, take the arms out wide. Now if you wobble, you're close enough to have a grab of the chair or just to bring the foot down. We'll go straight onto the next leg, send it back. Play the edges of the pose. Fingertip pressure is only in the mind. My fingertips can't actually hold my body up. So play with the idea of it, and you're giving the body a chance to make fine adjustments and for the body and the mind to come together in a good communication. And that only really happens when you make sure the breath is good at the same time. Release the arms. But you can see there's lots going on there. Hands down, feel it all through the legs, and press back, flat back. Finally, from this chair dog with the hands lengthened on the chair, have a little play, feet together to begin, bend the knees, send one leg back. Now you've got full warrior 3. Watch out for the turning of the hip and the stacking it. Drop the hip down. We can take a little bend and a little press. We can come onto the toes. Take it down. Bend, press, lift, down. Bend, press, lift, down. Foot to the earth. Swap it over, lift the leg, bend, press, lift, down, bend, press, lift, and down. Bend the knee just enough not to be to a right angle, and bring the foot up just so you can feel the ankle working. Foot goes down. Ripple through the spine. Come stand at the back of the chair, and you can even hear from myself that I've used a bit of oxygen, a bit of breath to do that, and as you can imagine over time, how much you build up the confidence in the legs, the ankles, and your ability to balance. A little bit and often is a vast more efficient way of training the body back to that balanced state than just doing a massive hour not doing anything. So chair yoga in the kitchen, a couple of times a day will soon get you well on your way. Happy knees everyone. See you later.